Welcome to the 2019 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova Championship Discs. Today we're going to look at the Innova course at Wildhorse Country Club. We're going to go over hole by hole and show you some of the changes that have happened since last year. This is the 20th year for the Las Vegas Challenge. As we get started on hole 1, which is a par 3, 393 feet, you'll see it's wide open, has very little danger, but the main danger is turning your disc over and going OB on the right hand side past that cart path. The best bet is to play to the base of the hill. That'll leave you with an easy putt for birdie if you can get that far. Hole 2 is a 270-foot par 3. It is the most technical hole on the Innova course. You're going to want to keep it low, shoot the gap between these trees, and keep it underneath the canopy. The basket sits under a big pine tree. Or you can take the eagle route, go over the top. That way you're throwing 500 feet to go 270. Not everybody has that kind of power. Hole 3 on the Innova course is also 270 feet, but plays downhill toward this large body of water. It's a peninsula green. The rule here is any OB in the water, past the rope line, or even across that cart path, go to the drop zone. Our first change on course Innova happens on hole 4, where we shortened it by 20 feet. We brought the basket off the top of the hill, but down to the right. This is going to reward a good shot that hits the base of that hill, leaving you an easy putt for a birdie. Don't want to go over the top of that hill though. It's going to punish you by taking you OB past the cart path. Coming in at 606 feet, hole 5 on course Innova is our first par 4. Shoot the tunnel and get behind this first guardian pine tree. You have a good landing area in front of this sand trap. That'll set you up for an easy upshot. Don't go too far. There is OB downhill behind the basket within 30 feet. You want to lay up just next to this pine tree by the basket, tap in your birdie. Hole 2 is our 222-foot island hole on the Innova course. Off the tee pad, there's palm trees that block the righty hyzer, and this pump house will block the lefty hyzer from coming in. So you need a very, very straight shot to get there. You're contending with the water OB as well as the rope area just behind the basket. Any OB shots, head to the drop zone. Another change is hole 7 on Innova. At 432 feet is our shortest par 4, but the basket change moves it to the left between these two sand traps. So you have OB green, hazard sand traps to contend with. Big pros might go for an eagle, but your best bet is to lay up short of the green and lay it up for your birdie. Innova hole 8 is a 427-foot downhill par 3. Righties are going to go for the turnover shot, but don't get too much on it. You're going to carry past the cart path. And don't let it hyzer out, you'll do the same thing. Lefties play a big hyzer. You want to land just short of the basket, give yourself a putt for birdie. We had a big change on hole 9 Innova this year, so we've moved the tee pad back 60 feet to create this long opening tunnel shot. You need to throw 260 feet through that tunnel to get out to this landing area. That'll leave you an easy upshot, but don't go too far as you'll end up in the hazard behind the basket. This was the second easiest hole last year, giving up a couple of eagles, but I don't think we'll see any this year. Hole 10, a 741-foot par 4, also had a minor change this year. We brought the basket down off the peak near the sand trap to the lower spot to the right. It's shortened the hole by about 30 feet. But it's also brought this sand trap more into play on a roller as you're trying to cut more to the right-hand side. Best play, throw it out straight, land before the sand trap, and then throw the upshot. Basket sits in a little depression, so you can sail past still and end up in that sand trap. Hole 11 on course Innova is a 369-foot par 3. Plays as a straight shot for lefties or righties doing a forehand. There is a hyzer line, but these trees on the right-hand side can block that from coming in. You're going to want to stay in the dirt, because if you actually land in the grass on this hole, you're OB. Hole 12, 396 feet, par 3. Righties are going to want to take the line the drone's flying right here. But make sure you have something stable, because this cart path cuts in. Anything beyond the cart path is an OB. Lefties do have a hyzer line, but there is an OB green to contend with. Also, don't get it up too high, as if you land on the downslope, you can fly far past the basket. Innova hole 13 needs no introduction. 387 feet uphill, basket perched just next to this sand trap. OB to the fence line to the right. Most pros can go for this, but the AMs are going to lay up just in front of this sand trap. Give yourself a putt, a chance at birdie, but most likely take a par on this one. Paul made it look too easy. Hole 14 is a completely redesigned hole this year. We've added a new tee pad position which adds 240 feet to the hole. The cart path we just flew over is inbounds this year. You can land in this open space, then throw to the new pin position that's tucked to the left near these two guardian trees just past the green. Make sure you clear the green, as this hole is going to play difficult this year. Innova hole 15 is a par 3 at 459 feet. Forces the right-hand backhand to throw a big ante turnover or a roller. So you want to get out in the straight area and then turn down to the basket, which sits in a hollow underneath this big tree. There's a backstop, so if you end up too far to the left, you can run the putt. Hole 16 is a par 4, 765 feet. You have two options off the tee: hit this gap or just swing it out and play a layup to the right. The problem is, if you go OB past the cart path this year, you end up going to a drop zone. End up in the open space, you're going to have a long upshot that you don't want to go past the basket. It's downhill, and that's a good way to get a bogey. Done a small change on Innova hole 17 this year. We brought the basket in closer. Same tee pad, we've shortened it up by 50 feet. Because this par 3 457 foot hole played as the hardest hole in the course last year, with only 3% of the pros getting birdie or better and 0% of the AMs. Again, straight shot, land before the basket, don't fade out earlier, you end up OB. This will still be one of the tougher holes on the course. The final hole on course Innova is the 18th, par 4, 675 foot, uphill monster. You've got two lakes, OB green, and a cart path to the right and beyond to contend with. This is the definition of risk and reward. You can either lay up or you can go for it. Either one's going to require pinpoint accuracy, but the basket is attackable. We're certain to see some fireworks here in the last day. We hope you enjoyed the coverage and the preview of the 2019 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova Championship Discs.